mathematics video called Pick Your Plan. Pick your plan. Okay, when you see a multiplication problem like this, it's important to go in with a plan. Okay? So in this video, you're going to see 4 different plans. And I've seen you all solving these problems using one of these 4 different plans. Okay? The first plan I'd like to show you is the lattice plan. Okay? In a lattice plan, you write one of your numbers that you're multiplying on top, and you write the other one along the side. That's the first step. By the way, you can pause this video at any moment to make sure that you're understanding where things are coming from. Then you draw a box that's big enough for your numbers. Then you say, okay, I have 64, so I need to separate the 6 and the 4 with a line, and I need to separate the 2 and the 3 with a line. Notice, I didn't draw my lines ahead of time, I drew them after I wrote my numbers in. Then you separate each box with diagonals, making sure that your diagonal goes through the intersections. I'm putting little circles on the intersections right now, so that you know where your diagonal lines need to be drawn through. Okay? I'm going to get those out of the way because I need all that room. But I'll go ahead and draw my diagonals again. At this point, if you know your math facts, you just start putting them in your boxes. In this box right here, I need to solve 4 times 2 because 4 times 2 intersect at that box. 4 times 2 is 8, so I put a 0 above the diagonal and an 8 below the diagonal. In this box, I need to solve 6 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12. So I put the 1 above the diagonal and the 2 below the diagonal. Can anyone guess what I need to solve in this box? 4 times 3. I put 4 times 3 is 12. I put the 1 above the diagonal and the 2 below the diagonal. Pause your movie and guess what I'm going to solve in this box. 6 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. I put the 1 in this box and the 8 in this box. Now I've solved all my multiplications and I need to add them up. What I'm adding together, children, I like to call them slides. This is a slide because it's underneath this diagonal right here. So everything under that diagonal is going to get added together. And the only thing under there is 2. The next diagonal I need to add is this one. This diagonal slide. Okay? So in there, I have I have 8 plus 1 plus 8. Which makes 17. I put the 7 there, and I move the 1 up to my next diagonal from 17. Here's my next diagonal that I need to add up. Okay? 2 plus 1 is 4. And then my last diagonal is right here. And the only thing in there is 1. So 1 is all that's left. Then this is my answer. 1,472. Okay? So that is the lattice plan, children. The next plan I'd like to show you is the area plan. Like the lattice plan, the area plan needs a rectangle. I'll actually draw the rectangle first this time. And I will look at my number 64. And I'm going to cut 64 apart into 60 and 4. I'm going to cut 23 apart into 20 and 3. Just like in lattice, I need to separate my numbers. Okay? And just like in lattice, I look for intersections. This box is the intersection of 60 and 20. So I use math facts and zeros to solve 60 plus 20, or 60 times 20. 6 times 2 is 12, and I have to add 2 zeros, one for the 0 and 60, and one for the 0 and 20. New intersection. This box is the intersection of 4 and 20. At the intersection of 4 and 20, I need to put 80 because 2 times 4 is 8 and there's 1 0. Can anyone guess what I'm going to multiply in this box? Just look at the intersection. 60 and 3. 6 times 3 is 18. 1 0 and 60. Okay? Pause your movie and guess what I will multiply in this box. 4 times 3. I'm hearing the children behind me answer these, which means they're keeping along here. So there's 12. Now I've got all my little boxes. I have this little box, this little box, this little box, and this little box. But what I'm interested in knowing is the whole box. So how can I figure out the whole box? I have to add up all my little boxes. So over here, I will add 1,200 plus 180 plus 80 plus 12. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 is 2. 8 plus 8 plus 1 is 17. Regroup the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 1 is 4. And 1,000 plus nothing is 1,000. The answer again is 1,472. And that is the area plan. That is the area plan. The area plan is kind of like the next plan. We'll call it the place value plan. In the place value plan, you take 64 times 23 and you break it apart like you did in the area plan, and you rewrite it 64 times 20 and 64 times 3. I'm going to solve 64 times 20 first. Because I'm multiplying by a tens here, I need to put a 0 underneath my problem. Then I multiply 2 times 4, which is 8, and 2 times 6, which is 12. So now I have solved this half of the problem. Over here I'm multiplying by 1, so I just multiply 3 times 4, which is 12. I have to regroup a 1, then multiply 3 times 6, which is 18, then add the 1, which is 19. So now I have solved this half of the problem. What I need to do now is add my two halves of the problem together. So up here in the corner I will add 1,280 plus 192. 0 plus 2 is 2. 9 plus 8 is 17. Regroup the 1. 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4. And 1 plus nothing is 4. Again, 1,472 is the answer. I will solve this one using a plan called the traditional algorithm. First I multiply the ones. 3 times 4 is 12. Regroup the 1. 3 times 6 is 18, plus the 1 is 19. Now I'm going to scribble out my regrouping. I'm moving over to the 2 from 20. Since there's a 0 in 20, I need to hold a 0 below. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 6 is 12. Now I need to put my 1s together with my 10s. 2 plus 0 is 2. 9 plus 8 is 7. Regroup 17. Regroup the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 2 is 4. And 1 plus nothing is 1,472. So now you have seen 4 plans for solving these multiplication problems. What you need to do is pick a plan. You have to find one that works for you, children, and study it and study it and study it and practice it and practice it and practice it and ask your parents questions about it. Ask me questions about it. That is how you're going to become an expert on one of these plans. Good luck studying.